Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Pisces New Moon Weekend Energy Update. This is for Saturday, March 9th and Sunday, March 10th. And the whole weekend, we will have a Pisces moon for the whole weekend. So let's take a look at it. You may even find yourself a little bit extra emotional even today on Friday. This is the day that I'm doing this video. This Pisces moon and new moon will feel like a full moon. It will feel very cleansing and very healing. It might feel super uncomfortable, but we're digging real deep this weekend in a lot of ways. And it's all in the effort for change. It's all in the effort for evolution and moving forward. Um, there's so much happening in the world right now. And there's so much division that's happening in the world right now. And there's so much anger and there's so much frustration. And the more I look at this Pisces season and look at, like, I've, looked at the astrology for the rest of the Pisces season and through the eclipse season, the more I can see how the healing energy, like the changes and the shifts that are happening are in order, it's a supporting energy to help us heal. So if we're just open, right, just being open to receive that support from the universe and open to receive that help from the universe to heal and flow, like I put up a Twitter post today, like ride the wave, flow through this. If you're trying to control how things go, you're trying to control how things are going to look, then it's really going to look difficult. It's going to feel like you're drowning. It's going to feel like you're grabbing for air and searching for something that isn't there. It really isn't there, right? Like everything is so overpronounced right now. Everything is so, the delusions are really heavy. So getting grounded every day and paying attention to what you need to focus on. Like I'm even guilty, like I'm so guilty of this, jumping on social media and seeing certain things and starting to feel insecure about things and like talking myself out of stuff and like comparing myself to other people and what they're doing and how it looks they're doing it and da 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 da. No, we're coming into an age of really being authentic, right? And having to look at what our journey looks like, our authentic journey looks like in all of this chaos that's out here in this shared collective space that we have. We also have our own little universes here. And what does that look like for you? Are you bringing that collective universe into your own little universe and creating chaos right here? Things like that are really what we want to look at, and learning how to work with each other, learning how to come together and not be so, you know, divisive about everything. Like we're all so divided. We're all so divided. And it comes from anger and it comes from fear and it comes from people wanting to be in power and not wanting to have their power taken away from them. And anything that wants to control something or anything that wants to be in power to control, it's just not rooted in humanity, right? Like that kind of dictatorship is not humane. It's not humane. So as I rant and rave, here we are, Saturday morning, and we have the moon conjoined Saturn right away. So feeling kind of heavy on Saturday. This whole weekend, you may feel very restless, but you also may feel very heavy at the same time. This Pisces new moon is not a light and cheery, let's all have a party for the new moon kind of thing. We're also seeing themes with this Pisces new moon that are going to reappear in September during Virgo season when we have the Pisces full moon eclipse. leading us into that nodal change in 2025, January of 2025, regressing the North Node to Pisces. So, and this Pisces new moon, this time there are a lot of themes. And from now for the next 6 months, the closures and the changes and the shifts are all that's happening, wherever Pisces is in your own chart. Those are the themes that you really want to look at for the eclipse season. We're already deep into eclipse season with this Pisces new moon. We begin. So Saturday morning, we have the Pisces moon conjoin Saturn, and then the moon will sextile Jupiter later on in the afternoon. We have the moon here, sextile Jupiter at 12 degrees. So, and we also have the sun at 19 degrees, sextile Uranus at 19 degrees. We have Mars at 19 degrees Aquarius, square Uranus at 19 degrees Taurus. So Uranus is really getting hit by the luminaries, both of the luminaries, really, because the moon will be just behind the sun in that sextile to Uranus. So there are brand new changes that are coming right now. There are brand new shifts that are happening right now, and there's so much energy behind it, right? We have this Mars and Uranus just packing a punch, right? Oh, the fire and the air together square this earth energy. I'm grateful for all of this water, but it really just feels like we're drowning in this restless energy. We want to really move forward and we want all of these changes to happen. And Pisces season is like, no, hold on. We still have to get some things turned around. We still have to get some things shifted. If you are constantly future forward thinking, then you're not ever going to be present in your body. And that's one of the biggest things right now, is to remind yourself to come present, come be present, come be present. A lot of accidents can happen with these kinds of transits to Uranus altogether. And the chaos energy of all this Pisces energy going on in confusion. Accidents are huge right now. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourselves. I also did a little bit of homework on the 19th degree, because it's so prevalent in this day right before we have this new moon in Pisces. We'll have the sun sextile Uranus both at 19 degrees, Mars square Uranus at 19 degrees. The 19th degree is a Libran degree, where we find balance, where we find diplomacy, where we find the justice, and within all the chaos and within all of the changes, that Libra energy is what brings us back to equal, right? And when we remember to not overcompensate on one end, and this is going to be huge when it comes to the ego. Mars and the sun are both very egoic energies. So it's huge when it comes to the ego. So if we're in the delusions right now, can really trigger that ego into thinking things that really aren't true. And when we think things that aren't true, or we living in that victim mentality and we're really buying into those ideas, very easy to project those onto other people in big ways, in really big ways. So remembering that surrender is often a key to balance, and balance is often a key when it comes to surrendering, right? In order to have that. And, a lot of people think that because being humble and surrendering is giving up. Being the Libra energy is really about being the bigger person, right? And people think that it's about giving up. But if you are in a relationship, or you're in a situation or experience that is very important to you, that you don't want to lose, and you decide to keep pushing and fighting against that, and not finding the balance and not finding the surrender, because that's really what it is. It's just your ego arguing. And if you're not finding the surrender in that and finding the balance in that, then you're going to lose it. And it may be something that you didn't want to lose, right? It's very easy to pop off at people and to project our anger onto people right now. Very, very easy. And to project our insecurities and to project our fears, all that. Like, it's nobody else's fault. It's nobody else's fault. The choices are yours. So come back to yourself on Saturday. I know it's a heavy weekend. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy. So really being grounded in yourself is huge for this Pisces new moon. On Sunday, the Pisces new moon happens around 2 a.m. Right here. Here we go. 20 degrees, 16 seconds Pisces. We have the Pisces new moon. It's 1:59 a.m. Mountain time. So that would be 3:59 p.m. Eastern time. That means it's probably early afternoon for those across the pond. And 12 p.m., it's still going to be the 9th for those in Hawaii and the Pacific coast. So this Pisces new moon, we also have Mercury sextile Pluto. Mercury is here, sextile Pluto a little bit later on the day. Mercury will hit that 1 degree in sextile Pluto exact. But I did want to talk about the Sabian symbol. We've talked about the Sabian symbol for these before. The Sabian symbol comes from an intuitive and an astrologer in the early 1900s. And they put together, with her mediumship skills, they put together these symbols that represent each of the degrees of the zodiac. And so when we look at the Sabian symbol, if this was at exact 20 degrees, we would look at 20 degrees Pisces. But because we're at 20 degrees and 16 seconds, we look at 21 degrees Pisces for the Sabian symbol. And the symbol is a little white lamb, a child, and a Chinese servant. The theme is perceiving the beauty in difference, finding a meaning and opportunity within diversity today, working together instead of working apart. There is a very special energy about this Pisces new moon, with all of the ego that's kind of coming behind it and all of the shifts that are triggering that ego, and the reactionary ways that things happen. It's very interesting, because if we dig deep enough within ourselves, we can find that we're not all that different. A lot of us are going through some pretty difficult things these days, and the support that we all could be giving to each other is huge. It could be awesome and big and huge with all of that happening. So it's quite necessary to make these new changes. We still have the Pisces new moon is sextile Uranus. We still have Mars square Uranus on Sunday. The Chiron is only 2 degrees away from the North Node still, and Mercury sextile Pluto. This is deep, right? So that, and it feels like there's a cleansing. Like, it feels like we're being, we're allowing ourselves to look at things that we probably wouldn't have looked at before. We're allowing ourselves to become a little bit more aware of things. We're learning new things. Mercury sextile Pluto wants you to learn about new things. If you find yourself not agreeing with something, look it up first, please. That's something that I've totally learned with this new found perspective on getting cancer information from people. When people give me information, I do my research. I say, thank you for giving me that information, and I do my research. If they are mean about it, then obviously I make my choice on whether I want to do that or not. But I don't have to let my ego get in the way and be like, you have no idea what I'm going through, because that it gets very overwhelming when you're constantly getting information from people all the time, right? Just an example of a trigger that I might have had in the past that I don't really have as much anymore. Things like that, learning. That's the best way for you to um, learn how to accept differences of other people too. This Pisces new moon is bringing changes wherever you have Taurus and Pisces in your own chart. That's where the catalysts are really happening. So let it flow and let it ride. Let's take a look at a little bit later on in the day that Pisces moon will conjoin Neptune later on in the afternoon and then be void until that ingress to Aries at night. There we are. And so now we see the moon here conjunct Mercury as we're going into the night hours. This can cause like immediately I thought, oh wow, there could be some like arguments and stuff that could be happening in the evening hours of Sunday, or you could just focus on getting ready for the week. That would probably be a little bit better. Yeah, and then the Aries moon sort of just hangs out overnight. So yeah, we'll talk about Monday. March 11th, we'll talk about that when we get there. Let's get an oracle card. Where did my guy go? Here it is. Sacred Traveler. Yeah, I have so much stuff. It's over here. All of my research materials. Ooh, okay, grounding is the first card that came out for the weekend. Grounding is absolutely necessary. I cannot tell you guys how grounding is going to save you. Go deep and explore your roots. The grounding is also going to give you a clue on what it is that you are healing and what it is that you need to pay attention to. And then faraway places, get ready for new horizons. See, this is what I'm talking about. Don't try to force the energy this weekend. Don't try to force the energy through the eclipse season, really. Like, honestly, I'm going to reiterate from this new moon for the next 2 weeks through this eclipse season into April. Don't try to force. Don't try to, I mean, you will overthink it, but don't try to force it. Things will be changing. I keep on talking about how the energy is shifting in the background and we're not really seeing anything. And we're just really meant to be like in hermit mode or in the hanged man position, right? Like we're chilling right now and we're letting the energy do what the energy needs to do for itself. And we're making decisions based on that stuff. Okay. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and a happy new moon. Take good care of yourselves. I love you. Bye.